My name is Khelsilem Rivers. I grew up in Vancouver, and I'm a speaker of my language, the Squamish-Snatcham, and I'm also currently learning Kwakwa, which is my grandmother's language of the Kwakwa people. I became an adult second language speaker of my language, Squamish, when I became an adult, so around 19, 20, 21, I started really learning language. And then about 6 years ago, I started the work to develop an adult immersion program focused on creating a cohort environment for adult learners to become proficient in the language through an intensive 800 to 1,000 hour kind of course load spread out over 8 months that was focused on immersion learning. And built the program, designed the program and a lot of the curriculum, and then trained some people who then took over the program and are currently running it now. The adult immersion program that we've been running in our community for a number of years has about 15 to 18 students that will do like 9 to 4 kind of hours, 4 days a week of immersion in the language, and really focusing on conversational language and becoming conversant really early and really quickly, but also learning how to teach the language, learning how to learn the language, learning how to teach others to learn the language, so that we're actually creating a community of practice that are going to help in the revitalization work. And then we also really try to focus on building the confidence to actually to explore what their interests are related to language and to be able to take on those works. So there's so many things that we need people to research or develop curriculum for or express an interest in. And I'm not going to be the person who's going to teach you about how to play lacrosse in the language, but one of the students might learn enough of the language that they can go and learn those words, and then they become the person that knows how to teach that subject matter. And some people it might be plant knowledge, some people it might be ceremony, some people it might be fishing, hunting, whatever. And so we really try to create that kind of capacity that we're giving them the really building blocks of the language, but it's their responsibility to go out and actually expand their knowledge. And I think for a long time, everybody just always assumed, they always had this kind of idea that, oh, if you want to learn about successful language revitalization, you got to talk to the Hawaiians and talk to the Maoris, and that was it. And I think that we have to break that notion, and I think it's starting to be broken, because there's a lot of success happening throughout North America and around the world in different contexts, and we need to learn what those are, we need to research those things and share those best practices. And I think that's going to become I think that's the next stage of this work, is to really figure out how do we support each other. I think often a lot of communities are really struggling because it might be one or two people who are really trying to drive the initiative. And I think what really makes a difference is actually having a little bit of a team to work on these things together, and finding your team, finding those people that you can work together really well and you can complement each other's skill sets. Inspiring through example is a huge part of the work, and I think sometimes people have been doing language for a long time, but their heart's not in it anymore. And I think that there's some really tough conversations that people need to have internally around whether they're actually helping or being effective at the work that's happening, and how do they actually support effective language revitalization, not just kind of doing the work to say that you're doing the work, but are we actually able to create measurable results? And I think that that's part of the challenges that we face in this work, and I think that teamwork is a big part of solving some of that.